Shalom to the nation of Israel. First and foremost, before I get into my lesson, I want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that teach and that rule well today. A salutation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry and the believers that scatter worldwide in all truth and sincerity, day in and day out. Shalom. So once again, I'm the brother Shaquat Gabar, coming at you with another quick lesson. And right before I get into this lesson, this message or these videos goes out to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible. And also to the Israelite foreigners that scattered amongst the heathen nations, and that may take on the physical appearance or look of another nation. But if your bloodline goes back to Negro, Latino, or Native American descent by the seed of your father, you are considered an Israelite as well. Once again, Shalom. So basically, I'm just gonna go, get into a, quick lesson, through the Spirit. Okay, basically going into the times that we're coming into when it comes to end time prophecies. Okay, biblical prophecies, as we on the verge of this place, America, which is known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures, on downfall. Okay, which at this time also leading to the downfall of the biblical Edomites that's ruling today, chiefly the elites. Okay, when it comes to the so-called white race. Okay, when it comes to the central bankers that's in power today. Okay, and ultimately this place America is going to be destroyed by the way of thermonuclear fire. Okay, at the peak of the Third World War, which also going to lead to the time of who the world called Christ, Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, second coming, by the way of the chariots, what the world called UFOs. Okay, the vehicles of the angels, and also the Lord is going to bring deliverance to the nation of Israel, but at this time starting with the elect, the 144,000, which were considered the 144,000 and the 1/3 that's destined to be saved. Okay, because according to Zechariah chapter 13 verse 8, 2/3 of Negro, Latino, and Native American descent here in America could be cut off and judged. Okay, as we're going to be in the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, that's closely approaching. Okay, and ultimately, like I said, this place is going to be destroyed. But prior to, this place be totally destroyed, and this place about to witness anarchy, civil unrest, civil war, race wars, class wars, okay, martial law, detention centers, okay, famine, food shortages, pestilence, okay, and natural disasters, okay. And one key prophecy, mainly, okay, that's about to be on the verge, okay, when it comes to prophecy, is the implementation of the RFID microchip, which is known as the mark of the beast, according to Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, okay, as we are about to witness a financial crash, okay, here in America, okay, as the dollar is about to become obsolete, okay, and for us that has been called in the faith, hopefully be chosen, okay, also the hopeful elect, okay, the Lord told us to watch for these things, man, okay, when it comes to end time prophecies, and the Lord has set up the prophets, okay, to prophesy, okay, start with the men of Great Millstone, mainly, and the true brethren on down that's out there really teaching, okay, truly teaching His word in all sincerity, okay, because you got false prophets out there that misleading their congregation, okay, amongst Israel as well. Okay, I'll say as amongst Israel, okay, you got false prophets, man, okay, that's not preparing their congregation or their followers, okay, of what the time we about to come into, okay. But let me start off with Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1, and it says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, where I will watch to see what He will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved, okay. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Okay, and it's going into the scriptures. Okay, when it comes to the table. Okay, or the visions representing the prophecies. Okay, which the word prophecy means to say before. And right before the Lord bring his prophecies, okay, to pass, he always set up the prophets, okay, to give that forewarning. Okay, that's why I say that he may run that readeth it. Okay, when it comes to the men on the Yahweh Shemal Shai, okay, as we go out there to the highways and byways, okay, and when this word is being presented as well by the way of the internet, okay, mainly the platform YouTube, okay, when it comes to social media, okay, and it says, for the visions yet for appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It would not tarry. So the visions ain't tarrying when it comes to these prophecies, man. Okay, a lot of our people lately getting on social media. Okay, other Manat the Zatba, okay, from GMS South Carolina Murder Beach branch. Okay, it was known for, known lately for about a couple of months now, putting compilation of videos together when it comes to Negro, Latino, Native Americans, mainly so-called Negroes, getting on TikTok, okay, and scoffing and scorning against the Hebrew Israelites, making mockery, okay, coming with trying to debunk the Hebrew Israelites, okay, the camps, the doctrine, okay, and so that's the majority of our people when it comes to their non-belief, okay. When it comes to the 2/3, the Lord eventually going to judge you, okay. Ain't gonna be no excuse that they didn't hear about this word, man, okay. When it comes to the men of Yahweh Shema Shai, okay. So now we're in the time of prophecies clearly speaking, okay, when it comes to this word, okay, by the way of the prophets, okay. But a lot of our people think they in the time of being comfortable, okay, thinking that everything's gonna be all right, okay, being in the spirit of mirth, partying, okay, entertainment, okay, the distractions, okay, you got the coming of football season starting back up, okay, college football, okay, you still got your latest sports events, okay, like I say, partying, okay, your latest trend, latest fashion, your latest music, your latest gossip, okay. But wait till all hell break loose, man, or things get more and more intensified when it comes to the plagues hitting this place, America, okay. Matter of fact, let me get this. We already seen the inflation, prices going up, okay, the dollar devaluing, job losses, certain aid being cut under Trump administration, okay. You got Trump sending out National Guard troops, okay, like the latest over there in DC, okay. He already saying that he's gonna send out more National Guard troops when it comes to cities like Oakland, Chicago, okay, and primarily who's gonna be targeted the most? You Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay, and that's part of Jacob's trouble, okay. That's about to be on the horizon, man, okay. Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 7. But let me get this. Well, that's Ecclesiastes 5 and 7. Yeah, here we go. Ecclesiastes, or the book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. Hey, once again, we read earlier, I start off with Habakkuk, okay, the first scripture, just a minute ago, how Habakkuk said, the words of Yahweh Shemal Shai is not tarrying anymore, okay, when it comes to prophecies, okay. It says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. And that's majority of our people. Okay, they feeling more secure. Okay, to a certain extent. Okay, but you starting to see our people now. It also a lot of TikTok videos of people getting on there venting, talking about how corrupt the economy is. Okay, how everything is languishing. Okay, due to the prices, due to the society, crime rates going up, homeless, poverty, okay, drug usage, okay, so that's going Isaiah chapter 24, going into how the mirth of the land is starting to be taken away, okay. People ain't got no enjoyment no more, okay. And you got people getting on videos or social media talking about they looking for a meteor strike to come and end everything, okay. Like I say, which they giving up. A lot of people are giving up on this place, America, man. But for majority of our people, and right along with average American citizen, okay, they don't have no understanding the times that we're in. So a lot of them, is still being in the spirit of security, being comfortable. Okay, let's get this. And look how these elites, because Trump, he just the middleman. He's a puppet. They're doing the bidding of these elites. Okay, but look how they're ready to move with their agenda. Okay, in Revelation 12 and 12. Okay, matter of fact, let me get that. So we in the time the Lord is sharpening the sword, man, when it comes to Esau Edom, which the blessing of Esau Edom is the sword. Okay, and it's going to come in the form of his military might. Okay, back behind draconian measures or strict legislations. Okay, more and more AI technology, surveillance. Okay, you got the Planeteer. Okay, that's being set up. Okay, but this is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. The word woe means destruction. Okay, and that's what the Lord is about to bring. Okay, especially to this place, America. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, and the devil representing Esau Edom. Okay, the wicked that the Bible speak of. Okay, Malachi 1 and 4. Okay, and the word devil means deceiver or false accuser or slander. Okay, and that's Esau Edom. Okay, if you won't see that by now, a lot of people still don't think Esau Edom. Okay, when it comes to the so-called white race, it's not the wicked. Okay, and you got some Israelites thinking that Esau Edom or the so-called whites, okay, Edomites that can be saved. Okay, or Hedonicians that can be saved. Okay, now they're going into captivity. Okay, once Yahweh Shai return and establish the kingdom of Israel. Okay, starting with the elect. Okay, so these heathen nations going into captivity. Okay, starting with the elites of Esau Edom. Okay, but you got Israelites out there, and right along with these Christians trying to save all nations. Okay, like a couple of Israelite camps like GOCC saying that Edomites can be saved. Okay, one body. Okay, saying they can be saved. Okay, now they're going into captivity. Okay, when it comes to the Edomites and these heathen nations. Okay, only ones that's going to be saved is the nation of Israel, starting with the elect. Okay, being delivered. Okay, but it says, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. And that's Esau Edom when it comes to the NWO. Okay, and that's why they're moving now. Okay, as they got the saying Operation Warp Speed. Okay, because they know they have but a short time left. Okay, they seeing Israel waking up, the Israelites waking up. Okay, they seeing the signs of their kingdom going down, but through their pride, they're thinking somehow they're going to continue on the rule. Okay, and when it comes to the NWO, the AI, the technology. Okay, they seeing the signs of the so-called UFO sightings. Okay, more and more increasing, which are the presence of the angels. Okay, and so they know they have but a short time left, man. Okay, and that's why they're gonna come down with that great wrath. Okay, which is the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. Okay, because like I say, Esau Edom is the sword. Okay, matter of fact, let's get this. And that sword is being sharpened, man. Okay, Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 9. Okay, but let's get this real quick. 17. Psalms chapter 17, verse 13. Arise, O Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Okay, so Yahweh Shema Shai and set up Esau Edom on the left hand side, okay, under the spiritual demon Satan, okay, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan here on the earth, okay, which the word Satan, okay, or Shaitan, meaning adversary or contrary, because everything that Esau Edom is doing here on the earth is contrary to the ways of Yahweh Shema Shai, okay, especially when it comes to the law, statutes, and commandments, okay, that's why he's known as the wicked, okay, and the deceiver, okay, but the Lord is going to disappoint him. Okay, but the thing about it, the Lord set Esau Edom up as the sword, man. Okay, in our prayer, us that's in the faith, because we don't have no power, okay, besides the truth, okay, and the covering of Yahweh Shema Shai in the times that we about to head into, okay, and eventually the Lord is going to raise certain men up with power, okay, when it comes for a standard or miracles or a way to escape, okay, Isaiah chapter 59, verse 19, okay, but at this time, we under the curses, okay, as a nation, okay, when it comes to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 15 through 68, okay, and the Lord set up Esau Edom at this time to rule over us, okay, right along with these heathen nations, but primarily Esau Edom, okay, Psalms the 83rd chapter go into that, okay, but the Lord also set up Esau Edom, okay, to be that sword, okay, for a punishment to the tribes, man, okay, that's why we're here in this captivity, okay, and being oppressed, okay, yeah, but the Lord eventually going to disappoint Esau Edom when the Lord Yahweh Shai return, okay, let's get this, because a lot of our people think they're, secure. Let's get this, First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1, but of the times and of the season, brethren, you had no need that I write unto you, and that's us that's been calling his faith, okay, so the hopeful elect, okay, we know the times and the seasons that we're in, okay, as we're approaching Jacob's trouble and the coming destruction of this place, America, okay, and the Lord had gave us the eyesight, okay, spiritually, to understand these scriptures, okay, because the only way you can understand the Bible or the scriptures, okay, is through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, okay, when it comes to this faith that the Lord had gave us, okay, which is a gift, okay, as the Lord had, give us the understanding, okay, and it says, is Romans 11:7, for the election had attained it, and the rest was blinded, so only the elect is going to attain the truth at this time, okay, and 2/3 is going to be judged, okay, due to them following these false gods, idol worship, going to these hedonistic customs, okay, coming against the truth, not repenting, but want to scoff and scorn, make mockery, come against the prophets, okay, and especially those of our people that take that RFID micro, because according to Revelation chapter 14, verse 9, those that take it, they're going to be destroyed by the way of the missiles and the chariots, okay, when it comes to the fire of the Lord, nuclear fire, and the chariots bringing concentrated fire, okay, that's why start with the men of Great Millstone, okay, and the brother on down that's out there truly teaching what the RFID micro for what it really is, okay, that's why we get that stern warning, okay, because those of our people that take it going to be destroyed, okay, and you got other Israelite camp, false Israelite camps that's not giving that stern warning, okay, they saying that the RFID micro is not the MOTB or the mark of the beast, okay, they say it's something spiritual, it's sin, okay, just within itself, okay, ain't gonna be no physical device, okay, but we seeing how these elites are moving when it comes to their agenda to bring a cashless society, and all of this pinpointing to Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, okay, about to be implemented, and it says, but it said for verse 2, for yourself know perfectly that the day of the Lord so come as a thief in the night. Yeah, so this going to unexpected, okay, a lot of people be cut off guard when all hell break loose, man, okay, or when they implement that RFID micro, or more and more increase martial law troops, okay, patrolling, okay, strict legislations, okay, a lot of people gonna be cut off guard, okay, and they have it make Yahweh Shema Shai their arm or their defense, okay, or they refuge, okay, or they trust, okay, because the Lord is going to be with us, the elect, okay. Now, like I said, the 2/3 are going to be judged, okay. Eventually, they're going to come back in the kingdom, being sons and daughters of the elect, okay, which is, reincarnation. Because eventually, all Israel are going to be saved, but starting with the elect at the time. And it says, verse 3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them, as a travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Okay, so as now, the government ain't really saying peace and safety no more. Okay, totally moving. As you see Trump, okay, moving towards more and more being a tyrant. Okay, fashion. Okay, dictator. Okay, yeah, so now we come to the point that once again that sword, okay, is being sharpened more and more. Okay, to come down on you tribes, man. Okay, and we know these heathen nations. The Lord don't give a damn about these heathen nations. Okay, and the Lord said they're nothing. Okay, they're gonna be destroyed, off rip. If your bloodline doesn't go back to Negro, Latino, Native American descent, okay, that would make you a heathen. Okay, it ain't gonna be no salvation for these heathens. They're gonna be straight judgment, especially for the Edomites. Okay, but now we coming to the point that saying peace and once we're saying peace and safety, and still certain extent they still saying peace and safety, but now certain destruction is about to be upon this place. It says, as a woman with a child, and they shall not escape. Okay, because that's how these plagues gonna come in the form of how a woman about to give birth, and she goes through her contractions, her labor pains. Okay, that's what America about to face. Okay, in a sense. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me get on that second address. Here we go. Second Esdras, chapter 16, verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, are not slack, as a woman with a child in the 9th month, bringing forth a son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child come forth, they slack not a moment. So they're going to these plagues, man. Even so shall the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Okay? So, oh, my people, hear my word. Hey, you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? Like I said, only the elect is going to receive this word. Okay? That hopeful number that we pray that we part of. Okay? And it says, make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Okay? So the pilgrim going to a person that travel from one place to another. Okay? So it can be possible that, because like I said, we know, I read First Thessalonians, okay, we know in the times that we in, okay, First Thessalonians 5:1, okay, so we preparing ourselves to, okay, to be pilgrims, traveling, okay, we preparing ourselves, the time of persecution, okay, the coming of being in prison for this word's sake, okay, or hell, possibly being a martyr, dying in the faith, okay, especially those that's not going to take that RFID micro, according to Revelation chapter 20, verse 4, okay, but those that die in the faith are going to be the first ones risen up when Yahweh shall return to gather the elect as a whole, okay, because not all of the elect is not going to see death, okay, but we preparing ourselves, okay, we not in a spirit of mirth, of being comfortable, okay, like a lot of these Israelite camps are, or these Israelite leaders and their organizations are in the spirit of mirth, trying to build an Israelite community here, okay, trying to be comfortable here, trying to be prospered here, thinking that this place is going to continue on, okay, putting the day of the Lord off, okay, and so we in these times now, as the plagues, okay, as a woman with a child, okay, that's about to give birth, and she go through them labor pains, okay, that's what these plagues are about to represent here on here in the earth, but especially this place, America. Okay, let me get this and I'll probably get ready to close. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me get this. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14. Wherefore he said, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead. And that's going into you Negro Latino Native Americans that don't know your true nationality. Okay? Because once we come to our true nationality, we're awoke now. Okay? We're spiritually awoken. Okay? But majority of our people, they spiritually sleep. Okay? Or in a spiritual slump. Okay? That's why it says rise from the dead. Okay? And the only way they can rise, okay, spiritually from out of that slump, okay, if they receive the truth by the word or the words of Yahweh Shema Shah through the prophets, man. And it says, and Yahweh Shai shall give thee light. Okay, the light represents the truth. Okay, because we're able to see. Okay, we got the eyes out. Okay, they're able to see through the, because the darkness represents this place, America, the world, confusion. Okay, and it says, see then you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Yes, so redeeming the time. And how we redeem the time? By understanding the scriptures. Okay? The scripture says measure the times. Okay? That's 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. Okay, so we understand these scriptures. And, when it comes to current events, we're able to interpret them, okay, through the spirit to know the times that we're in. Why? Because we are a spiritual weight. Okay? And that word circumspect means to be aware or watch around. Okay, be, to look. Okay? And knowing the times that we're in, because the days are evil. I'll get this and I'll get ready to close. Like I say, but there ain't gonna be no excuse for majority of our people, man, because they heard the word. Okay? Matter of fact, let's get this. This is Romans chapter 10, verse 17. So then faith come by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahweh, by Shema Shai. By say, have they not heard? Yes, verily. They sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world. Okay, and that's going by the way of the prophets. Okay, that's out there on the highways and byways. And mainly, this word being pushed on the internet. Okay, like the apostles, the elders always say, the internet does the heaven lifting. Okay, so the word, by the way of the World Wide Web, this word has gone viral and global. So ain't gonna be no excuse, man. Okay, you got camps waking up all throughout different parts of the earth. Okay, and like I say, this word being pushed on the internet. Okay, and soon it's gonna come a time when the Lord gonna remove his prophets off the highways and byways, and this word off the internet, which gonna lead to Amos 8 and 11, the famine of the word. Okay, then what our people gonna sleep? Okay, Isaiah chapter 55 verse 6 go into, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, call upon him while he's near. And the Lord is doing it by the way of his prophets. Okay, let's get this and I'll get ready to close. This is Ecclesiastes. Okay, Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 1. Remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw near or nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And we coming to these times now. Okay, so now is the time to seek Yahweh Shema Shai before the evil days. Okay, when the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. It's going into the prosperity of this place. Okay, it's coming to a decline. Okay, in the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble. Okay, they're your marketplaces, the stock markets. Okay, more and more than what they call it, the deck. Okay, keep falling. Okay, this place is already known for its debt system, trillion dollars of debt. Okay, that's going to lead to a financial crash, which these elites want. Okay, to lead into a digital currency, which is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, the RFID micro being implemented. Okay, the next way of buying and selling. Okay, and it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong man shall bow himself, and the grinders cease, because there are few. Yeah, the grinders cease going to the jobs, man. Okay, AI taking over a lot of jobs, a lot of people getting laid off. Okay, nurses, truckers, doctors. Okay, your average worker. Okay, we coming to the point of a retail apocalypse more and more. Okay, etc. When it comes to this economy. Okay, and it's what do you think going to be the domino effect? Okay, the solution. Okay, or the problem, reaction, and solution. Okay, a civil war, civil unrest, anarchy. Okay, and it says the grinders cease because there are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Okay, the opportunity. Okay, and the only way you can so-called have a convenience life is going to be, hey, you got to take that RFID micro. Okay, and it says, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, okay, going to, the economy, okay, jobs, losses. And and all the daughters of music shall be brought low, and going into the mirth, okay, entertainment. Okay, all that's about to be come to a halt, okay? And it's going to be more and more a chaotic state here in America, okay? But Yahweh Shem Shai is going to be the hope for us, okay? Us are the hope for elect. Okay, the Lord says his service is going to be taken care of. Okay, so his servant is going to eat. His servant is going to drink, rejoice. Okay, the Lord is going to be the guide. Okay. Matter of fact, let me get this and I'll get ready to close. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10. The name of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. Okay, and so start with the names. It's key. Okay, and serving Yahweh Bashim Shai in all truth and sincerity. Okay, so the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to be the covering. Okay, for the elect. Okay, when it comes to the safe. Okay, the safe house. Okay, that the Lord have that coverage over the elect. Okay, that's the number that we're striving to be part of. Okay, but I'm gonna go ahead and end the lesson here, and I pray that lesson will edify until next time, Lord willing. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.